What's up? Welcome. Happy Wednesday. Thank you for being here for another afternoon devotion, the penultimate one. There's a word for you. Second to last one. So as always, from the very beginning, we're going to start with what are you thankful for? Today, I just want to say that I am thankful for you. If you are watching this video, I am thankful for you, especially look, so many of you have been so faithful in making time to watch these videos and interact and be a part of them. And so, I appreciate you all. And if you are watching, I am thankful for you. Let's see, we've got some others checking in. Luke, thankful for technology. Alec is thankful for his dad, and Eric is thankful for outside. So love you guys and appreciate you always checking in, and I'm glad that we can rejoice in each of those things together and just continue to remind ourselves how good God is to us. All right, quarter teen games for today. Last time we talked about the woman at the well, and our quarter teen question had to do with a well, the deepest hand-dug well in the world. It's in England. It's built in like the 1860s. The correct answer for how deep that well is 1,285 feet deep. Crazy. Almost 1,300 feet deep. But this quarter goes to Eric with a guess of 1,000 feet. So nice job. I can't imagine digging that. That's I don't even know how that worked, but kudos to the people that did it. So anyway, all right. So let's talk about today's question. So we're gonna go local today because we're nearing the end, feeling generous. We're going for two today. All right. So we're going local. Let's think about Edwardsville, where we live, at least Edwardsville area. All right. So two questions for you about Edwardsville. One, what is the current population by current, look, I'm going to go to the most recent census. But anyway, so remember, as always, no Googling. Your best guess. What is the population of the city of Edwardsville? And second, what year was Edwardsville founded and incorporated? All right. So back to the beginning. What year was it founded? And then current population. All right. So let me know what you think about Edwardsville. All right. All right. Let's do our devotion. Let's talk about Dorcas. This is just one of the funnest names in the Bible first things first. Dorcas is her Greek name. Her Hebrew or Aramaic name was Tabitha, which they mean the same thing. They both mean gazelle, which in that sort of time and place was something that was just a symbol of beauty. And so when her parents named her that, that was a symbol of beauty. So we read her story in Acts chapter 9. It's not long, and so I'm just going to read it today so that we can sort of hear the whole thing. All right, so it's Acts 9, it's 36 through 43. It says, "Now there was in Joppa a disciple named Tabitha, which translated means Dorcas. She was full of good works and acts of charity. In those days she became ill and died, and when they had washed her, they laid her in an upper room. Since Lydda was near Joppa, the disciples, hearing that Peter was there, sent 2 men to him, urging him, 'Please come to us without delay.' So Peter rose and went with them, and when he arrived, they took him to the upper room. All the widows stood beside him, weeping and showing tunics and other garments that Dorcas made while she was with them. But Peter put them all outside, knelt down and prayed, and turning to the body, he said, 'Tabitha, arise.' She opened her eyes, and when she saw Peter, she sat up, and he gave her his hand and raised her up. Then calling the saints and widows, he presented her alive, and it became known throughout all Joppa, and many believed in the Lord. And he stayed in Joppa for many days with one Simon, a tanner." All right, so that's the story of Dorcas. What kind of lessons can we learn? So look, we can look in the story, we can see this, the power of God at work. We can see how, because of what God did in Dorcas's life, that many people there came to believe in the Lord, which is an awesome thing. But what can we learn from her? We've tried to do throughout all this, what lessons can we learn from this woman, from this person? And this was kind of an interesting one, because what lessons are we going to learn from a dead woman? Because in the story, she's dead. Obviously raised back to life, but still. So what can we learn? But I think what's cool is we can actually learn quite a bit about her and her character from the way that Luke, as he wrote this, describes her. So, I mean, one lesson that I think we can see in her is that, look, living a godly life does not exempt you from trials. Sometimes we think that. Sometimes we think, well, God, I'm a Christian and I'm doing what I'm supposed to do. Why is this bad thing happening to me? And that's just not how life works. Tough times still come. Death still came to Dorcas, to Tabitha. Just because she was a believer and living a really good life didn't mean that she was immune to those types of things. So that's just a sobering but good thing for us to be reminded of. The other lessons that I want us to see today are a couple of questions. I want us to dwell on a couple of questions to think about, to contemplate and meditate on our own lives. One is, what will you be remembered for? I think as we look at this lesson of Dorcas, who had died, yes, she was dead, but Luke records this, like I said, in a way that tells us a lot about her. He talks about how she was full of good works and acts of charity. She was remembered for how she served others, what she did in obedience to God. And I love that it says full of good works and charity. Sometimes we think we can just get by with doing the bare minimum. Like, what do I have to do? Dorcas seemed to be a person that was willing to go above and beyond to do what she could for others. Full of good works and charity. What a great testimony. And hopefully that's something that other people can say about us. It also talks about how the other widows were there weeping for her. This community was obviously devastated by her passing and sent for Peter in hopes that he might be able to raise her back to life. I love how we see these widows bringing what it says, the tunics and the garments that she had made. I don't know if it was just a memory of her for them, if this was something that they wanted to show Peter, like, look what she did for us, look what she made for us. But what a cool testimony of remembering the acts of service and generosity that she had done in her life. That's what she was remembered for her obedience, her righteousness, her generosity, her service to others. These are awesome things that we should also want to be known for and remembered for. And are we living in a way that people will remember those types of things about us? So that's the first question that I just want you to contemplate. What are you going to be remembered for? The second thing, like Dorcas, what can you do for someone else today? She was known for her good works and her acts of service. She was known for what she did for other people. And so the second question, again, that I just want to pose to you today is, what can you do for someone else today? It's so easy to go through life just thinking about ourselves. Think about others, and find something that you can do today to serve and to bless someone else. Just because, not for reward, not for recognition, just because God is honored when we do that. So that's it for today on Dorcas. We will do our final one on Friday on Priscilla, who is sort of a co-laborer with Paul. Don't forget, our final Zoom meeting is tonight about 2 John. So if you haven't read it yet, be sure and do that. But thank you guys for being here once again. I love you. We will see you Friday for the last one. Bye.